Hello, I'm back. I'm back. Hiatus. We all needed it. The world has lost its mind. But I'm back. How have you been? How's everything going? How are your people? All is well here. Had a few hiccups, but let's get into it. So I had an adventurous morning. So woke up to a crazy cat. So I have two. And so woke up to one of the cats doing this crazy meow. It was weird. I'm lying there thinking, you cannot be for real, jumping in my bed. Yeah, that was sounded. It was making, okay, I exaggerated that a little bit. But yeah, that's how it sounded to me. So I get up. And I'm like, you're about to go outside. I'm kicking you out. These are both house cats. The first time I've ever had cats that never go outside. So they're odd. They do crazy things. I don't speak cat. So I have to get up and see why the crazy orange fluff ball is going off. Step into a pile of vomit. Yeah, that was my good morning. Not a kiss, not coffee being brought to me. No, a pile of vomit. Get that up. Now I'm really mad. But then the smell hits me. What is going on? Come downstairs. Kitty litter on 10. It's all the way in the basement. Okay, like I said, I have two male cats who, TMI right now, who poop like dogs. I've never seen anything like it. You would think that I had Great Danes in my home. No, they're just cats. So clean that up. Clean the kitty litter every 2 days. You never know that though. Come back upstairs and I realize, oh, they haven't eaten their pate. Yes, my cats get pate because they're fancy. They're fancy cats. They haven't eaten. I'm wondering why. Is the pate bad? I'm not going to taste the pate. I'm not doing that. All of a sudden, they start eating their food. I guess they needed me to come downstairs in order to eat their food. But this is the thing that kills me with cats. While I'm cleaning your kitty litter, why do you have to sit and get all comfortable and watch me while I clean up your poop? As if they're saying, oh, you're doing a fabulous job, Dawn. I'm so proud of you. Look at you, girl. Look at how you scoop that up. You're a professional. Oh, let me go test it while you're cleaning that. I need to go. That's not going to happen. So then they go to their other box and they're looking at me while they're going to the bathroom. That's a disrespect. I don't need you staring at me while you go to the bathroom, because what that makes me feel, what I'm thinking is, that's what you think about me. I am not your slave. As I scoop out the kitty litter box, as I mutter to myself and try to hold my breath at the same time, as I feel the rage of being a human having to take care of these fluff balls. That was my morning. Oh, and then while Davidion, the super producer, is setting up, someone decides to park in front of my driveway. So can't get in. Park in front of my driveway and go to mass, because I do live across the street from a Catholic church and a parochial school. So it's been eventful. I deserved the cup of coffee that I did allow myself to have. We'll get into that later. But other than that, that was my morning. How have you been? I know it's been crazy. I have so much to talk about. I do. But not going to be a downer. I think all of you have heard enough. A lot of us have been through a lot. Has it been 5 months now? 5 months, I think it's been, when COVID started and people started losing their jobs and just not being comforted much by the people in charge. And not being reassured that, you know what, we're going to get through this. We're going to get through this, and we all need to bring it down at least 10 notches. So, I know that a lot of you have had to homeschool your children, have had to do school online, and you have been driven crazy. But the positive part to this is, for those of you that like your kids, you get to spend a lot of time with your children, and you get to actually see what they're learning and see how the teachers interact with your student. I know some of you are shocked. I'm not, because I did work for a high school for 12 years, and like I said, they're never going to hire me back. Say I wanted a job back, they will never hire me back, because when I left, I wrote, I believe, a 3-page letter to the superintendent listing all of the teachers that should be fired, because I was one of the registrars, so I was in charge of the white cards. And what a white card is a cumulative, did I say that word correctly? It's a tongue twister, list of grades, all of their grades from kindergarten until the 8th grade, when actual transcripts, the high school registrar takes care of all of the transcripts, start to kick in. So when I was looking at these grades from kindergarten to the 8th grade, I became very angry, because I saw that a lot of these children were getting straight Fs and being socially promoted. So I took a huge box of them and I took it to my administrator, and I said, what's going on here? What is going on? Why are these children being passed on? They are literally getting straight Fs. There was a lot of hemming and hawing, and I saw this for some years. So going back to me saying they will never hire me back, because my letter, I shredded a lot of people, and I had receipts, and I dropped names. It's disgusting. So COVID has now forced parents, this is not just the teacher's fault, it's forced parents to sit down with their children and talk to their children and say, my child might be able to read very well, but they don't comprehend very well, or vice versa. Or my child cannot do math, and basic math is what you need. My child cannot do A, B, and C. So you might not like hearing it, and you might be a little bit frustrated, but be all those things. But it's gonna make you look at your child and help your children, where they are not passing. You have no choice now. So that's that. Drinking. Let's talk about your alcohol intake. Like I said, I have a lot to say. Being a personal trainer during COVID has been an eye-opener. I always knew that people took in, they drank a lot. And when I say drinking, I mean liquor. But COVID has given people an excuse to be on one, as we say, be toe up in the middle of the afternoon. You guys really? No. And then they're like, oh, we're getting the COVID-19. First of all, uneven number. So you're using COVID-19 to gain 19 as an excuse to gain 19 pounds? No, stop it. You don't have to gain weight because you're in quarantine. If you're bored, Go find a project. And no, that doesn't mean wine tasting. No, I'm not talking about wine tasting. Go find something to do. Online courses, online activities. You can step outside of your home and go walking. They just said don't go to the mall, but outside is free. Wear your mask. Look. Wear your mask and go outside. Walk. Enjoy what we do have. So wait a minute. If you hear a lot of walking around and noise, it's because I'm in my house and other people live here with me. So it's a Sunday afternoon and people are up and walking and they're probably drinking. They're probably having a good time behind my back. Eating and drinking, you do not have to go overboard just because we are in quarantine. Because you're using that as an excuse and it's not even a good one. It just isn't. Calm down. Calm down. That's the theme of this podcast, one of them. We all need to calm down. You do not have to be out of control just because everyone else is. Don't use it as an excuse, especially when you have children. They need us to be the voice of reason. Take a deep breath. Take some yoga online. Take some yoga. Do meditative work. Take some deep breaths. I've been practicing actually. When I feel that anxiety rising, I stop, I sit, I close my eyes, and I take some deep breaths. Because everyone else's anxiety attack doesn't have to be mine. And I know there are those of us going through really hard things. But with all of that said, we can sit, we can close our eyes, and we can take a few deep breaths and write out a plan of action. I am a believer in writing out action plans. Because when you have that, you write it out and you post it, it keeps you focused and the anxiety level drops at least by 10. Like I said, I only talk about what I know. And I know anxiety attacks. So, with that said, eating. I've been seeing a lot of extremists on social media. They remind me of the person, I don't even know the cartoon character's name, it's old school. Oh, what is it? The sky is falling! The sky is falling! They're like that all of the time. Even the news people are like that. I don't know how you guys watch these people. I don't care what channel it is. They are that. Was it a duck that did that or a chicken? I can't remember. Doesn't matter. But I do know that they constantly scream, the sky is falling, with no action plan. So everyone is in an uproar. Everyone's running around, taking up all the toilet paper from your Target, all the dang wine, all the Kleenex, all of the antibacterial stuff, because they're running around without saying it, screaming, the sky is falling. It's not. It hasn't. You don't need to drink yourself into oblivion. You don't need to eat yourself into oblivion. You can take those deep breaths, sit down. The sky has not fallen. And I know people say, Dawn, you have a way of simplifying things. It kind of gets on my nerves. It's all right. I can get on your nerves, but I'm still going to say it. When you do simplify things, your anxiety level drops because you are able to compartmentalize and you will not be outside looking crazy, running around grabbing up 10 packs of toilet paper. It's not going to happen. It just isn't. You need to bring it down and stop reading texts, tweets, and posts from people who are so anxiety ridden that you pick up that energy and now you look crazy too. Yeah, I said that. I know people don't call people crazy. Well, some people are clinically crazy. And when people are like this, they cannot see the forest for the trees. They don't know that they don't have to behave this way. Reason on it. Reason. Use logic. There is a way to protect yourself. I'm not saying that it won't happen, but there is a way to protect yourself. So, caring for loved ones during the time of COVID, and I'm not just talking about the people that live with you, is hard. The people that live outside your home, if you have elderly parents or aunts, uncles, grandmother, whatever, I know it's scary, but you can protect yourself while you protect them. People are doing it every day. Even when they drive them crazy, they are doing it. They are taking care of their loved ones. You just have to be logical, you have to be reasonable, and you have to follow directives. If they're telling you to wear the mask, wear the mask. If they're telling you to stand 6 feet apart, do it. Even though, the Center of Disease people let it slip, or it was released or leaked that 6 feet apart doesn't really help. At this point, what's true? What isn't true? We all have common sense. The majority of us do. We all have common sense. Utilize it. It's with anything. This all ties in. The drinking, the eating, the exercising. Protect your immune system. It all comes down to common sense. If it doesn't feel right, it's because it ain't. It's not right. It's like anything, right? We all have common sense. I've had, during this time, I've had the loss of 2 cousins. My father died, and I lost a good friend who just so happened to be a brother-in-law. So it's been difficult. And let me tell you something. I sat back and I thought about it, and there was a running theme with, especially the death of my dad. I knew my father, but I didn't really know my father. My father left when I was about 5. And he went, that was the video on dropping his phone. I told you, life happens life is happening in real time when I'm doing this podcast. But I moved in with my father. I told my mother, I want to move in with my dad. Okay, whatever. She let me. I was about 14, 15 years old. I really did want to know my father. I hadn't lived with him since he left, and I wanted to know my dad. Well, see my face? I learned a few things. I don't even need to get into that. But I wanted to thank my father for not only helping give me life, but because my father gave me the love of music. Oh my goodness. My dad could sing, and my father had a love of the arts. And I know between he and my mom, there was never a time where there was not music being played in our house. From the Temptations to Santana to Helen Reddy, may she rest in peace. She just died. Just the love of music. And then I thought about my brother-in-law. Same thing. I learned so much about different bands. I would have never have loved Heart, the rock and roll band, if it wouldn't have been for my brother-in-law. I mean, I knew Heart from the 80s. They had their 80s songs, but I didn't know Heart. Dreamboat Annie, that whole album, classic. My brother-in-law played that for me. He said, I remember I was about 13 because I knew him. I knew Bill since I was 11, 12? And he knew my love of music, all of my siblings. We all sing, or at least I try to sing and play music constantly. And he said, I want you to listen to this album. And he put on Magic Man. To this day, I play that album as if it's brand new. So there's this running theme of the love of the arts, the love of music. And so even in my sadness, I could find the gratitude and the love. And people are complicated. We all know this. So sometimes your love is complicated. Sometimes you're like, ugh, but you did this and you said that and you blah, blah, and they did all those things. And I've done a lot of things. I've said a lot of things that make me turn red. Like, oh, you did that and you said that. Because guess what? We're human beings and we're complicated and we make mistakes and we talk trash and we say a lot of things that we don't mean. I've learned to only say things that I do mean, or I shut up. My relationship with my mother was complicated. But when you peel it back, take those things happened. And yes, they weren't fun. And yes, your feelings were hurt. All of those things. Anyone with parents, we get it. Do we ever grow up? Sometimes we're still that little kid inside and we hold all that hurt and we cry about it. And you did that to me and you said that. Yeah, they did all that because they also had parents who probably jacked them up too. It is being human. And yes, I am simplifying it because it's very simple. But when you skin it back, you peel that onion, you realize, my God, I loved you. And you were hilarious. My father was obnoxious. His sense of humor was just like mine, which most of my siblings, obnoxious, sarcastic, hilarious, and with all the other horrible things. Yes, we're not negating. We're not pretending that it didn't happen. But it is what it is. And I used to hate that saying, it is what it is. It is. My mother used to, but it is what it is. It's all those things. And it's okay. It's all right. And you can still love people. And you can still say, I love you regardless of what you did. Regardless of what you did, I still love you. And I appreciate the good things that you brought to me. I even appreciate the lessons that I had to learn. And it's all right. And thank you. And move on. That's it. Because your other choice is to roll in it. To roll in it. And to wallow in it. So then you can... And this happened. And constantly. How old are you going to be until you just say that's enough? I used to always tell my children, don't be that person. And they would say, what person, Mama? The 40-year-old still talking about what your mama and daddy did to you. If it's that bad, go get yourself some help. If you need to go get yourself some help and you need to talk to someone who can be objective, go do that. But I need you to heal. I need you to be okay. I need you not to hold the grudge, because the only person getting hurt is you. While you mad at that person, you know what they're doing? They're going on vacation. They're living their life, a fabulous life. And you're the one butt naked in a corner, twitching in the dark, talking to yourself. I'm not even trying to be funny, but I just got a visual. But all of us need to heal before they die. Before they die. And I can say I did that. I made peace. I talked to my father. It was all good. I apologized to him if I ever hurt you. And guess what? He apologized to me. Woo! That was a moment. That's what you do so you can grow. At the end of the day, it's not even about them. It's about what you feel here. It's about what you feel here, so that you can look in the mirror. And as my mother used to say, I quote her a lot. She had a lot to say. And I hate to say she was right about most of it. I feel myself choking after I said that. She was right about most of it. You need to be able to look in the mirror every day and say you did your very best. Not just for yourself, but you did the very best for everybody else. That's all you can do. She would say it all the time. You need to be able to look in the mirror. Yep, that's it. So, while dealing and coping with all of this and, sorting everything out, I became a crazy gardener. I was insane. I am addicted to gardening. Now, like I said, and I've talked about this before, I thought I was never an outside person. So when people who have known me for years hear that I'm outside with bugs and whatnot, I had to write a whole blog about it. Because me and the bugs have made peace with each other, and I talk to the bugs, and I just want them to stay off of me. And for the most part, they do. I did have a spider on me out there, and I was shocked. I didn't run down the street screaming, yanking at my clothes and my hair. I just gently did this. Just like that, taking deep breaths. But my hand was like this. Don't bite me. And I knocked it off, and Charlotte went away. And I was so proud of myself. I have seen such beautiful creatures out there. A lime green spider. Saw 2 of them. I have never seen a lime green spider. If you can call a spider beautiful, this spider was beautiful. It was beautiful. A praying mantis was on my door, and a big one. Butterflies. I love butterflies all day. I love them. Caterpillar. I haven't had a caterpillar nest in my tree in years. Big caterpillar nest. My yard was just gorgeous. And I became addicted to buying bulbs and seeds. I am an addict for digging up stuff and mowing the lawn. Me and the grass have become one. I have turned into that woman who sits by her window and screams at kids. Get off my lawn. Don't you touch. And I'm not playing. I was screaming at the kids across the street, and they call me Miss Dawn. And I walked across the street to ask them to please stop swearing while they play basketball. They were very respectful. And they come over sometimes to talk to me. A big old gaggle of boys on their bikes, and they talk to me, and I ask them how they're doing. So it's kind of cool, actually, that they know me, because I've turned into that woman who screams at children from her window. Yeah, I'm not proud of that, but okay, whatever. But man, gardening, it's such a de-stressor. And you get out there and you forget what's going on. You have some music playing. I would take my coffee out there. I'm digging. I'm hoeing. Not that hoeing. I'm hoeing. Had to say it, I'm sorry. I'm planting. Everything didn't come up, so I'm kind of mad about that. But the colors, the air, the deep breathing, I'm telling you, I would recommend it. It keeps you from choking people. It keeps you from going off on folks. It brings you down. It's like a nice hot bath. Try it. Even if you don't have the space, do it inside your house. We did crate gardening. I feel like I'm a homesteader. I'm not. Because I grew like 5 tomatoes and 3 cucumbers. So I'm farmer Dawn now. They were lovely. I've never done that a day in my life, and it was great. So try it. Try it. It keeps you from drinking liquor. You go out there and have a good time, and you get to know people. People, when they're walking by and they see you outside, they from 6 feet apart, they talk to you. They ask you, what are you putting out there? And I had crimson and clover growing up front. I had never done that. And so what crimson and clover is, it grows up and it grows red. So I had all of this beautiful red flowers, if that's what you want to call them, up front. People would stop by or driving. One man rolled his window down. He's like, what is that? So we had a whole discussion about my crimson and clover, and it was cool. And I don't know, it really is it has a calming effect on you, being outside, getting vitamin D, even during a pandemic. Try it. Now it's getting cold, but you still have to get out there and rake the leaves, which is a great workout, by the way. Raking leaves, doing yard work, you burn. If you're mowing the lawn, I burned 900 calories. Personal trainer. I'm always looking to burn calories, so whatever. So that's me being the gardener. That's me trying to find a silver lining with everything that's going on. And I want you to do the same. That Davidian, he asked me, so what's the homework? Before I finish, what's the homework? I'm going to give it to you early. Find a silver lining in your life. October is gratitude month because I say so. I actually have a gratitude challenge going on online, dawnsfit2befree.com, on Twitter, dawnsfit2befree. You can find me everywhere. And I do have a gratitude challenge going on. I think this is the third day. This is the third day of the gratitude challenge. And every day you get a new exercise. Day before yesterday, it was, I'm grateful for technology. And I said, I'm grateful for my cell phone. And I really am. I fought against having a cell phone. I did. I fought, but I also fought against getting a microwave. I think that if I lived back in prehistoric times, I would have been the person who wanted to burn the person who created the wheel. They're a witch. Burn them. Burn them. Because I fight against technology. My then husband had to sneak buying a microwave. It just showed up in our house because I was like, no, it's full of cancer. Cell phones. My best friend had to force me to get a cell phone. I was driving all over the place, doing personal training all over the place, and she's like, this is dangerous. I'm getting you a cell phone, Dawn. And she did, because I was fighting it. I'm telling you, they're gonna find out that the cell phone is warping our brains and the government is trying to control us. Yeah, that's me. Okay. And she was like, ooh, you're insane. But I'm going to go get this cell phone for you because this is dangerous. You are literally driving all over the Chicagoland area with no way for me to keep in contact with you. Done. So, with that said, I am now grateful for the cell phone. And so every day, find something to be grateful for or to. That is the homework. Find me on social media. I've posted it everywhere, and it gives you, the chart is right here. And every day there's something. They give you a task. They give you a prompt. So there's no reason to not be grateful, even during a pandemic. Even during a pandemic. Because I'm going to tell you something. I've had 2 people call me just to talk. They lost their jobs. The children are home. They're trying to figure stuff out. And one of them said to me, I know this sounds horrible because, yes, people have died. A lot of people. There's nothing we can do about it. But she said, I'm so grateful. And I said, really? She said, yeah. Because I've been able to stay at home and rest. My anxiety levels have dropped so much, Dawn. And her anxiety was literally making her sick. And she said, I haven't slept like this in years. You know why? She said, because I've surrendered. I've surrendered. And what that means is I'm not going to worry about things I can't control. This has happened. But I'm going to find the silver lining. I'm at home. I'm resting. My children are fine. We have food. My utilities have not been shut off. They're working with me. I haven't been kicked out of my house. And I was like, wow, that inspired me. That inspired me. I hope that it inspires you. So, are you constantly being traumatized? And when I ask you that, have you ever met, and I've talked about this before, and I have to giggle because I had this whole conversation with more than one person, and they were bringing up watching the news. And you know my stance on the news. First of all, I don't believe that half of what they say is true, and they've all been busted. The big ones, CNN, Fox, they've all been busted with lying. If you don't want to say the word lying, over exaggeration means lying. Okay, but okay. When you're constantly watching things like that, and you are constantly watching shows that show traumatic situations, not just traumatic situations, because we've all dealt with trauma for the most part, but there's always a way out. There's always a way out. These shows don't even show you that. They just show constant trauma. We call it trauma porn. And when you're on social media a lot, and I am, because I'm posting things about fitness or nutrition or just about life in general, because, people love that, and I love it, and I love learning about other people's experiences and things that they're going through and how they're going through it in a good way and their thoughts on things. So social media is fine. I'm not one to social media. No, we need social media. We really do. We do need it. But my point is, do you seek out traumatic things on social media? There are a lot of Debbie Downers on social media. They love it. I think they love this pandemic. Gives them something to talk about. It's one more thing. It's one more horrible thing to talk about. I've literally blocked people because their trauma became so big, so overwhelming, even for me. And that's all they talked about, that I blocked them. I wish them well, but you have to get off of my timeline, because not only are you spreading trauma porn, you're not really teaching people a way to cope with the trauma. So you have to ask yourself, do you seek out trauma? Do you constantly shell it out to other people? When people ask you how you're doing, is it constantly, oh, well, this happened and this happened and this, and none of it good? And I'm not telling you not to talk about it. You should talk about it. What I'm saying is, do you seek it out? What I'm asking you, do you seek it out? Do you seek out negativity? And when you do, what do you get from it? How is it helping you? How's that working for you? It's a question that I ask some of my clients, the ones who are real, the ones who really want change, but they have balked at the things that I'm telling them to do that will get them to their goal, but they want to stay doing what they're doing, and it hasn't worked for them in years. It ain't never gonna work for them. And so I ask them, how's that working for you? And there's never a good answer. So I will ask you, if you're seeking out trauma, how's that working for you? What does it bring to your life? Does it elevate you? Does it help you reach your goals? And what is your goal? An early death? Because you're going to be so stressed out that, well, your blood pressure kicked up, sweating constantly like this because you're traumatized. Are you engaging in disseminating trauma porn? And I had to think about that years ago, because nowadays, no, Dawn is all about happiness. I really am all about feeling good. I think I've earned that. I think that I'm worth that. I don't even talk to people, related or not, who don't abide by my life rules. What's there to say? Nothing. I wish you well. I will help you any way I can. But there's no engaging, there's no reaching out, because I know that your way of life is to be constantly traumatized. And so years ago, I asked myself, even with the things I was watching, the things I was reading, we forget about those things, right? And then you wonder why you're feeling bad mentally, which will go into physical. Why I'm feeling so sad and depressed. Well, did you try to watch The Wire? My God. It's no, because that's another thing. As an African American, they have, when I mean I mean Hollywood, they have monetized Black trauma. I made a joke with my daughters, and I had to tell Davidion earlier. I said, you watch the lineup of movies that are released during Christmas, that time, Thanksgiving, from Thanksgiving to New Year's, and the movies that come out, and they're supposed to be uplifting, blah, blah, blah. So you have the movies with Caucasians. All of their movies are happy. Oh, family members reuniting and loving each other, and long lost relationships being healed, and blah, blah, blah. Okay. You know what they gave us? And when I say us, I mean Black people. we got a movie with, I think it was around that time, Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan, with Jamie Foxx being on death row. That was our Christmas gift. Yay! No. That's trauma. That's trauma. I do not watch one more TV show, one more movie. I won't even read a book that will continue the lie that all Black people have lives of strife and pain, and that is our only purpose to be here on this earth, is to be traumatized. You need to ask yourself, do you buy into that? Are you paying them? Are you giving them money? There was a new movie out, and I won't say its name. You know it. Recently, a movie about an enslaved person. Even the critics said, from the very beginning of the movie, they show a Black woman being raped. And it wasn't just that scene. Throughout the movie, constantly showing Black people being raped. Oh yeah, that's something Dawn wants to watch. So then I can feel depressed. If I didn't believe in any other conspiracy, I would believe in the conspiracy of keeping our society in a state of depression. Because when you are so depressed and you are so sad, when you are constantly being inundated with trauma, you feel hopeless. You feel that there's no way out. And that's what we're constantly getting. Now add that with being an African American, not just in America, across the world. Constant barrage of negativity, negative images, negative TV shows, negative news, blah, goes on and on. You have to say stop. Stop. There's enough going on. No, I will not watch this. I will not watch one more Black child get shot on a TV show. Why, when you can see it in the news? I will not watch one more Black woman get raped, murdered. Why? You got that in the news. I will not watch one more Black man get tossed in prison and be on death row. Why? Why? I get that in the news. Don't give them one more cent. When you want people to do better, you have to put teeth behind the words. I will be a one-woman boycott, but I will not give these people one more cent to portray Black people, brown people, as if our lives mean nothing but trauma. That's just me. We all have a choice, and my choice is happiness. And that goes right into the struggle culture. So you have trauma porn, which is that's a piece of the same pie of the struggle culture. Oh Lord, how am I ever gonna get through this? Yeah, I have to use a voice with this one. How am I ever gonna get through this? Give me a break. Woo! I saw something the other day. I turned. I said, are you kidding me? It's not that dramatic. It's not that dramatic. Here goes Dawn simplifying things. And this was in connection to weight loss. I have been on a journey. Bear with me. I've been on a journey as far as my health goes, and most of you know that. And I was at my wit's end. I had made the appointment to go to the Mayo Clinic. And I felt this constant struggle to heal, this constant struggle to wrap my mind around where my body is right now. And I felt it was a struggle, and I was constantly saying the word struggle. So when you constantly say something, well, you bring it to life. You breathe life into it. Constantly struggle. People would ask, how are you doing? You know, close friends. How are you doing? Well, today I'm struggling. I'm struggling. Became a mantra. And it hit me. Oh my goodness. You're doing what you tell other people not to do. It happens. You're doing that. I want you to change the word. You are not struggling. You are healing. And so I made a big decision. I canceled the appointment for the Mayo. Cancel it. Why? Why, Dawn? Why? Because I do not have faith in Western medicine. I have dealt with them. I gave them a chance the last 4 years. And I'm not telling you what to do. We all have to do what we feel is right for us as individuals. So I don't want anyone to say, well, Dawn Morris told me to do blah, blah, blah. No, I didn't. But for me, I don't have faith in them. They have tried I think their best, if I want to call it their best. And their idea of helping you is to put you on drugs that hurt everything else. And that's what was happening to me. And I sought out a doctor. She is a doctor who only deals in holistic medicine. And it was a leap, a jump, a back flip, a forward flip of faith. And I'm going to tell you something. A lot of supplementation. And the biggest thing, I thought I was healthy. I thought that my diet was on point. This is what I do for a living. Oh no. I had to get on what they call the anti-Kandita diet. You do not know how much sugar you are taking into your body until you get this list of what you cannot eat. My mind was blown because the whole point of this anti-Candida diet, let me explain it to you. When you have inflammation in your body, which is what the issue is, autoimmune disorders, all of these things, most disease is connected to inflammation. And inflammation is caused by mucus. As humans, we already have an overabundance of snot in our body. So that gets in the joints, it causes inflammation. I was horribly, and have been, horribly inflamed. Couldn't figure out why. They said it was due to the infection, the E. coli. I talk about all that in one of my podcasts. Just go back and watch it. But they couldn't figure out why. Why does this bacteria keep coming back? Why do you keep getting so inflamed? Why? And finally, I spoke to Dr. Valerie. That's her name. Her first name. I cannot pronounce her last name. Something German. And she said, Dawn, my consultation was almost 2 hours. Dawn, I think that you have leaky gut syndrome. I think that this horrible UTI and all of these things, all of this is mucus buildup. Yeast, mucus buildup causing your intestines to leak into your body. That E. coli was just a side effect. I said, you're kidding me. She said, do you have these symptoms? Her in-doc form was huge. I had to check off everything. Well, long story short, I had to change everything. I had to strip my diet down to all whole foods. I thought I was doing that. Well, no. I love how we lie to ourselves. No. No, I wasn't even close. All whole foods, all of the time. I can't even have white rice, because white rice, which I did know, is overly processed, but I can have black rice and all the other rices that are wonderful. White sugar is a no-no. Sugar, period. So the first phase is hard. It's hard. But I will say, here's the silver lining. The first 3 weeks, I felt such a change in my body that it was ridiculous. I couldn't believe how the inflammation had gone down. I couldn't believe, and I'm going to stop saying that too. I can believe, I will believe that my body is so happy with the changes that I've made. It's just going to continue healing. It took me a long time to get to this place. It's like weight loss. If it takes a long time to pick up 200 pounds. So it's going to take a little while to lose the weight. It takes a while to ingest, excuse the pun, and digest the fact that you have to change your diet so drastically. I have become a partial vegetarian. No pork. That hurt my feelings so horribly because I do love bacon. I love bacon. No, I can have coffee. I can, if I just have to have it, but no cream, no sugar, which is fine. I'm a coffee lover. I don't have to have cream and sugar in my coffee. I love coffee. Not an issue. And I told Dr. Valerie, as long as I get that cup of joe, I'm fine. You can take everything else. But what I will say to you, when you want to feel better, you will do what it takes to feel better mentally and physically. And this goes back to the whole trauma thing. This goes back to, are you buying into the struggle culture? Once you realize that this is affecting your health, you'll stop. Because you'll realize, I am a person that deserves to feel good. I deserve to feel good mentally, and I deserve to feel good physically. And I came to that conclusion, and that's what I'm doing. So when Davidion asked me, so what is your wine of the month? I don't have a wine for you. Sorry, guys. I can't have wine. I can't have wine. Because wine is sugar, especially white wine. It's nothing but a bunch of lovely, squashed up sugar in a beautiful bottle. And I do miss that, but not enough to have it, because I love feeling good. And this isn't forever, by the way. So if you decide to do that, and some of you DM me or send me a message, Dawn, what book did you go through, or how do you get this anti-Candida diet, blah, blah, blah. I will send you all of the information, but it's not forever. And say that it was for me. I love feeling good. And I'd be willing to say, you know what, I'm okay with not having wine. I'm okay with that, because I love feeling good above anything else. I like being happy above anything else. That means a lot to me. So I want you to remember, I'm going to use what Jesse Jackson, this was his theme when he was running for president. I think the first time, didn't he run twice? I think Jesse Jackson ran for president. I'm not sure. I'm old, whatever. But his theme of his campaign theme was keep hope alive. Remember, he would say it all the time, keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. And people would say, yeah. No, really. Keep hope alive. Every day you wake up, have hope. Have hope. Because there is still hope. I don't care what these people say. I just don't. Don't listen to them. Misery really does love company. And you don't have to keep company with misery. A lady that I've met on Twitter, her name is Robin. She has her own podcast. She's a DJ. Her name is Robin's Nest. And hey girl, hey. She posted something the other day. She said, remember, misery loves company, but remember, so does happiness. Happiness loves company. So keep that right in front of you. When people come at you, or there's something on the TV, you know you have the power to turn, right? You know you have the power to say, I'm so sorry that this is going on with whomever they're talking about, or even when they're just talking about themselves. You can listen, but you don't have to take it in and have it ruin your day. A bad moment doesn't make a whole day. And you can help people to the best of your ability. But keep hope alive. I know that right now it looks bad. And I think that the powers that be want you to constantly think that it is hopeless. It's not. It's not hopeless. Because you have to stoke that hope. You have to add logs to that fire. You got to keep it. You got to keep the fire going. Or you will feel depressed all the time. You will not want to get out of the bed. You will say, oh, well, even though the sun is shining, tomorrow's supposed to rain. Don't you love people like that? It's a beautiful day outside. Well, yeah, but later on it's going to rain. I was about to tell you a story about another lady I spoke to, and she was talking about the news. So let me go back to that, and then I'll let you go. And I had to laugh because I love her. But she said, well, on the news, they said these amount of people have died from COVID. And I stopped and I said, are you keeping track of the deaths? And she said, well, yeah, because on the news, she's a big news watcher. And I said, but why? Why? I mean, are you in your basement making some type of antibody? I mean, is your back against the wall? Do you have to get the antibody out before one more death? And I was laughing. She burst out laughing. I said, seriously, are you a scientist? Are you a doctor? Why do you need to know that? Isn't it bad enough if people have died? Do you need to know that exact number? So every day you're watching the news to get the number of deaths. Are you a secret psychopath? I don't know. What's going on here? And she was like, but Dawn, don't you want to know? I said, no, I don't. Because it's bad enough that one person had to die. I don't need to keep track of the deaths. I know that people are dying. But I also know people who have survived it. So I'm going to focus on that, and I'm going to focus on how to build my immune system and the people that I care about, letting them know how to build their immune system. And I'm going to focus on life, the goodness of life, and I'm going to appreciate every day. That's what Dawn is going to focus on. I'm going to keep hope alive. I wish you love and peace, but mostly peace. Wait a minute. Thank you, Davidion. The book of the month. It is called Soothe Your Nerves. Woo, we need it. The Black Woman's Guide to Understanding and Overcoming Anxiety, Panic, and Fear. I was about to say pain, but I think that if you can get over all of these things, that you can get over some of your mental pain. So I added on. It's called Soothe Your Nerves, and it's by Dr. Angela Neal Barnett. And there it is. Book of the month. I hope that you get it. It's on Amazon. It's not expensive at all. I think it was about $14. And so far, so good. Steps to bring it down. Bring it down. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Keep hope alive. See all that you have, not all that you don't have. See all the people that love you, but most of all, I hope that you love yourself. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. As my mother would say, go put your face on. I guess, a lot of men don't put on makeup. But that's what it means, put your face on. Go put some lipstick on. My mother thought lipstick could cure everything. She did. Go put some lipstick on. Go put some lip gloss on. Feel better. Go take a hot shower. Take a deep breath. Get the book. Read. Love yourself. Inner peace. Keep hope alive. I'll talk to you later.